Isaiah 41:10 says, so do not fear, for I am with you. I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you and help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand. God's presence is our strength. So even though we're alone, we're not alone. When we rely on him, we find an unshakable foundation. We're no longer swayed by loneliness or fear because we know that God is always with us. That's good. Knowing that God is with you. God is with you. God is with you. You are not alone. Today I want to share a powerful truth that's been shaping my journey. Learning to be alone without feeling alone. You see, in a world that often equates being alone with loneliness, we can easily fall into the trap of thinking we're isolated when we're by ourselves. But what if I told you that learning to be alone with God can be one of the most empowering, transformative experiences? You see, when we embrace solitude with God, we become indestructible, rooted in his presence and strength. The difference between being alone and feeling alone. Let's start by understanding the difference between being alone and feeling alone. See, being alone is a physical state, being by yourself. Feeling alone, however, is an emotional state where you feel isolated, abandoned, or disconnected, But here's the truth. Just because you're physically alone doesn't mean you have to feel alone. God's presence is always with us. Yes. Deuteronomy 31:6 says, be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid or terrified because of them. For the Lord your God goes with you. He will never leave you nor forsake you. And that's what I mean by standing on God's promises. See, God's promises that we're never truly alone. Even in our loneliness moments, even when we feel the most lonely we can feel, we're not alone. He's with us. When we learn to recognize his presence, we can be alone without feeling alone. Society often tells us that being alone is a weakness or something to be avoided. But family, there's a power in solitude. When we intentionally spend time alone with God, we strengthen our spirit, gain clarity, and deepen our relationship with him. That's good. It's in these moments that we become indestructible. In those moments, alone with God. I've been there. The times when I felt alone and thought I needed others to feel complete. But God has taught me that solitude is a gift. It's in those quiet moments that he speaks to us, strengthens us, and reminds us who we are in him. Psalms 46 says, be still and know that I am the Lord. When I read that, it just brought so much peace to my spirit. Be still and alone with God isn't about isolation. I said being still and alone with God isn't about isolation. It's about connection. It's about knowing that God is enough. And in him, we have everything we need. Everything. You see, when we learn to be alone without feeling alone, we tap into the strength of God's presence. Say that again, brother. When we learn to be alone without feeling alone, we tap into the strength of God.